Hello everyone, we're finally back with another video after like 2 weeks or so. Alright, I know I have my beautiful little baby bike with me. Now, don't worry, I didn't quit scootering or so. I hate the fact that you actually have to mention that. But either way, I actually have quite a big audience that loves biking, so that's why I'm kind of bringing out a little bit of biking content. But don't worry, the vlog upcoming is a freaking fantastic scootering vlog. You guys will love it. Either way, this is a tutorial on how to 180 on a BMX. Now, the first step that you actually want to know is, how do you stand on a bike? Yes, there's a way you stand on the bike. So you have two ways. Else your right crank is in the front and then your left crank is going to be in the back. Or else left crank is going to be in the front, then your right crank is going to be in the back. Now, basically what it means is, if your right crank is in the front, you're going to spin on the left side, since it just makes it easier to spin. And if you're the opposite, the left crank in the front, you are going to spin on the right side. Now, obviously, before you start spinning on a bike, you obviously want to have a good hop, since spinning on a bike requires a lot of air just to simply do a 180 and 360 is even much more worse. But either way, here's an example of a bunny hop, which I should say J hop, since on BMX you do J hops and not that often bunny hops. Either way, here's an example of a J hop. Now, you want to get a decent hop, since the more air you have, the easier it's actually going to be to actually do a 180. Now, another thing about 180 is, obviously, 180 on a bike, you're just not going to land back and then stand there. You're going to have to learn on how to fakie. Now, fakie, there's two different ways, since there's cassette and free coaster. I just like free coaster, but that's a personal opinion. Either way, on a cassette, if you're actually going backward, now obviously you're noticing your cranks are going backward, which means when you're going to land back, you're going to have to slowly crank back so you don't get caught and slightly put pressure in the front and end up going in the front. So you're going to have to crank back, then turn. Now obviously there's different spots to actually practice simply fakie. You can also do it off of, like, let's say a driver like that. If it's slightly tilted in an angle, you go up, then you just hop, then you go backward. Or else you can hit an object, let's say the side here or so, and then you can fakie back. Now you have to get used to that, since the more you get used to it, the easier it's actually going to be to spin it back. Alright, now that you have all of this, let's move on to the spinning. Now I'm going to show you guys spinning on the left side, since I put my right crank in the front. Basically, what you kind of want to do is a J hop, but before you do it, you slightly want to tilt your bars, obviously the way that you're actually going to spin. And once you do that, you're going to lift the front, and you're going to continue spinning. Obviously, you're going to give it like a hut with your body, so you actually spin with the bike. And once you have that, once you're about here, you're going to want to lift your back, then continue the spinning, and once you have it done, land back flat. Now, obviously, when you're going to land back, your cranks might be a little bit doo-doo. Obviously, get your cranks back to normal, then do the spinning rotation that I told you guys, like this. Or else you're just going to get caught on your cranks, and you're going to end up going forward. Now, while you're going backward, you're obviously going to slightly turn your handlebars. So if you're spinning on the left, it's going to go this way. So your bike goes this way. Then you do the same thing at the beginning. You lift the front, then you lift the back. Now obviously, if you go the other way, you're going to put your handlebars the other side, then you're going to spin with it. Now, it might be something small, but it really helps a lot to turn it back, or if you just feel like it going straight, you can do it, then 180, but you might have more of a hard time. Now, you want to put all of this together. It's going to take a lot of time compared to just doing 180 on a scooter. but it's still possible to do on the bike. It just takes more effort, but all you have to do is simply practice and you'll get it. Now, here's the 3 main parts you want to remember. You want to have a high hop, a good fakie, and I forgot to talk about free coaster. Free coaster, you don't have to crank back, so you're just gonna go backwards. So that's kind of easier, but some people prefer cassette since they like to crank their cranks, if you say it that way. And then the other main part is the spinning. Now, here's an example of 180, 180. Now that you've seen an example, it takes a lot of effort. Just follow all the steps that I've said and you will be able to land it. Just keep trying, get back up and try again. Thank you for watching that video. You already know what to do. Obviously leave a big fat thumbs up on this video, and if you aren't subscribed yet, what are you waiting for? Press that button down below or else bad things are going to happen. And obviously turn on the post notification bell, and I will see everyone in the next video.